Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I basically want to give you guys my um I want to give you guys my opinion on the whole Wizardly situation. You know, my my unasked for 2 cents on the whole situation. So like nobody asked, for my opinion and stuff like that, but I'm still gonna go ahead and talk about it because I really honestly I feel like this is like what happened to the wizard Liz is such a I think it's something that a lot of women can relate to, and I think it's also like a huge learning lesson for like a lot of women. And this is kind of like an I told you so, or like a it's kind of like an I told you so moment for like a lot of red pill content, like people who say women only go for the chads, and then when they get hurt by chad, then they start complaining or they start feeling sad and stuff like that. So this is literally like the wizardly situation is a complete opposite basically of what these guys usually accuse women of doing. So, firstly, I just want to say that I'm not an avid watcher of the Wizardly's content. I mean, I used to watch her content, and there are some of her videos that I genuinely like, but I'm not really. I don't really, to be honest, I don't get the hype around her videos and stuff like that. I think people just kind of flock to her, especially women, because she's good looking, she's quite attractive, and she has a way of like knowing what people are feeling and making videos surrounding those kind of aspects. So I'm not really sure the kind of guy she was looking for, but looking at her fiance, I would think the kind of guy that she was going for is kind of like the nice guy, right? And the the stereotypical characteristics of a nice guy is he's usually mid looking, right? He's not usually very like drop dead handsome. He's usually a subpar to mid looking kind of guy. He's not good looking, but he's also not like super good looking. Another characteristic of a nice guy to women is a guy who he comes off as like the arrogance that we would feel with guys who are like conventionally attractive off bat. Like your female radar, like your female sensors go off quicker when it comes to sensing the arrogance of an attractive guy, um, compared to compared to a mid looking guy. Our sensors don't go off as quick and as strong because I don't know, because we just assume because this guy is not that attractive, he must not, be arrogant. We just kind of assume that. And then the third characteristic a lot of us women assume with mid looking guys is that he will be loyal, right? Or because he doesn't have a lot of options, he's not arrogant, he's not that good looking, um he's nonchalant, towards women. He's not really going to cheat. He's not really, he doesn't really have options. He's not really looking for women like that. Those are the assumptions that we make about the nice guy trope. And what we can learn from the Wizard Liz situation, and honestly, I consider this as someone who was also the kind of person who used to go for like the guys who are the nice guys. Let me tell you something. Whether he's good looking or not good looking or mid looking, do not ever in your life, first of all, they're all the same, and as a woman, do not ever in your life, because what we do, right, when we go for the guys who we we go for them because we think, oh, he's not good looking, but he's kind of like, if I tilt my head, if I like tilt my head a certain way, he's kind of good looking, and he's really nice. He buys me stuff. He has, he's successful and stuff like that. We we almost, especially if you're like a really attractive woman, what happens is like we're kind of feeling, it's like we're almost feeling kind of bad for the guy, and we're like, okay, let me just give this guy a chance. You're kind of like feeling kind of bad for him, and then that's the last thing you ever want to do in your life as a young woman, or as a woman in general, is to give a guy a chance because you see his potential or you feel bad for him. Don't ever do that in your life, especially the nice guys. Oh my gosh. One thing that I've learned about the so-called nice guys is that they are usually the meanest. These guys, and the thing with them is like a lot of them are highly insecure as well. So a lot of them are very, very, very insecure, and a lot of them, when they come across like beautiful women or really attractive women, because they're really insecure, and their instinct, right, their first instinct is not to really care about people. Their first instinct is to seek for validation. And most of the times, because these mid-looking guys actually generally don't have access to women like that, they have grown accustomed to their guy friends and constantly being with their guys and stuff like that. So the people who they are usually trying to impress is not really women, it's their guy friends. Not only are they trying to impress their guy friends, but they're also just trying to seek some type of ego boost and validation for themselves, because they're very insecure. And so when you come across a guy like that, if you are like, you look at him and you are looking at him like, okay, this is a guy who I'm gonna give a chance to, but he's looking at you and he's like, this is a girl I'm gonna use to boost my ego. And the way he's gonna use you to boost his ego is by humbling you. He's gonna try to humble you, and that's what we observed with the Wizard Liz. So like when these red pill guys talk about, oh, women always try to go for Chad and stuff like that, that is not true. That is not true. Like actually, the meanest guys, like I think for a lot of women, the one of the worst experiences that we've had dating wise has been with mid to below mid looking guys, like the guys who are not Chads. They are just mid looking, and they tend to be the most arrogant, the most arrogant, and the most, like the meanest, actually, like the most non-apologetic when they hurt you. Now I just want to talk about like the 3 red flags that I noticed when I watched the Wizard Liz's like recent video. The first red flag that I noticed is there was a lack of chemistry. Honestly, I don't know. Like even when you observe their shorts, right? Because she posted some shorts. There's lack of chemistry. It just feels forced. Like it just feels forced. Like even when I know like some people might be like, oh, maybe he's just shy and it's like awkward, because there's like a short way he like placed a cold bottle of water on her head, and then she like took it off, and then her hair got stuck to his beard. You can just sense the it just feels forced, like there is no like maybe there's some chemistry, but the chemistry is not, it's not visible like through the phone, right? Like when you're watching a video with them both, you don't really sense that there is chemistry between these individuals. And another thing I noticed is like when she asked him, what is one thing that you like about me? Bruh, tell me why this guy will fix his mouth to be like, one thing I like about you is because you're like a butterfly. What? But look, I know we all want to live in, oh my gosh, but I don't know, like I said, like I don't know these people and I don't know the Wizard Liz. But if a guy ever said that to me, I would look at him like, what do you mean? I'm like you're grown and I'm asking you, somebody that I've been with for like probably a year plus at this point, and I'm 2 to 3 months pregnant with your child. I'm asking you what you love about me, and you talk about some, I'm like a butterfly. Like, what does that mean? How, like, I'm colorful and I fly and I'm light. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. And another thing that he said, he was like, he likes the way she, clicks her knees together when she's happy. To be honest, anybody can take this in any way, shape, form they like, but I feel like if you have been with somebody for like a year plus, probably at that point, or even like 6 months plus at that point, and okay, regardless of the length of time someone is pregnant, I feel like you should have something a bit more substantial to say than, oh, you're like a butterfly and I like the way I noticed that you click your knees together when you're happy. It's like it's just giving Wattpad. It's giving Wattpad. It's giving Kotev. It's giving telenovela. Like, mm-mm. No. And I feel like he should have had a lot more to say than just, what he said, because it just felt like he was trying to, like, sound like he's been watching her videos, or he's like analyzed the way that she talks, so he's just trying to say things that he knows are going to sound right to her and her audience, and it just didn't seem genuine. Like, it just did not seem genuine at all. Another second red flag that I noticed is, and this is actually something that was pointed out by the body language guy, is that this guy literally laughed at her trauma. And I've actually had this happen to me before, and I can try to place myself in the Wizard Liz's position. At that point, I don't think she even noticed that he was doing that, because when that happened to me, it was with somebody who you don't even think that this person might have any sort of vendetta against you. It's only when you're like reminiscing and you're like, I literally just told this person that I was hurt, and they smirked. This is somebody that's supposed to care about you and care about your feelings and feel your feelings with you. The Bible says we should feel with others. So, I mean, if I'm telling you that, if I'm talking to you about my traumatic childhood and talking to you about how I had to see psychologists and stuff like that because my parents were never, or my mom, they were never expressive with their love, and you're smirking, I feel like that's a tell sign of somebody who does not, like, they're not taking you seriously. It's not something that they're taking seriously, and that's a red flag, in my opinion. That is a red flag, because I mean, if this was a guy that I had met like 2 weeks ago, then he's blocked or he's ghosted. But at that point, the Wizard Liz is carrying his child, so for him to be smirking, that's really weird. And the last red flag, so the third red flag that I noticed. So the third red flag that I noticed is he just appeared to be disengaged. And I feel like it was obvious. Like, he just like, I don't know, like not only was there barely any chemistry in the video, but the guy appeared to be completely disengaged. Like he just could care less about what she was talking about, what she was yapping about. And that's a red flag, honestly. Like maybe he didn't want to film the video again. I don't know these people. But there are certain things that you can pick up on through a video, and it just gave something was kind of iffy. Maybe he didn't want to make the video. Yeah. And to end this video, I feel like, I'd like to say one thing that we women honestly can learn from this situation, right, is, first of all, there's so much that we can learn. Like, especially for attractive women, there's so much we can learn. If you have standards, right? Like, if you've told yourself, I am only gonna date guys who I find conventionally attractive, like, if that's a standard that you've set for yourself, like that you're only going to date guys who you find conventionally attractive, don't settle for that standard. And if you do settle for that standard, don't settle for that standard because you think this guy is a nice guy. Ladies, and this is to myself as well, there's no such thing as a nice guy. The nice guy myth, honestly, a lot of guys on the internet who troll women for going for chats and then getting hurt, claiming that they are nice guys, a lot of them are just guys, insecure guys, who are waiting for a chance to humble a beautiful woman or an attractive woman. That's it. That is literally it. There's no such thing as a nice guy. Those people, those beings do not exist. No such thing as a nice guy. And I think that's like the main lesson that we as women can learn from this situation. And I think another thing that we can also learn from this situation is, I think where the wizard Liz went wrong is she shouldn't have, gone to social media, to be honest. Like, she should not have. I can understand that, like, her emotions were high and everything, but she should have, she talks about controlling emotions and stuff like that. She should have taken some of her advice and not taking this to social media, because there's the fact that she's pregnant. Because she's pregnant, there's a child involved. There's literally a child involved. And so the fact that she is pregnant, and she made it clear in her last post that she still loves him and she still cares for him, how would she not? There is a child, there's a bun in the oven. So clearly this woman might find herself still going back to this guy, still being with this guy. They probably haven't even broken up. And it's just gonna be messy, and it's not going to look good on her brand at all. So in a way, now she has to be kind of tactical with the way she tackles all of this, because she brought it to the internet, and she's gonna have to answer to a lot of people if she decides to stay with this guy, or if she decides to be with this guy. It will be completely understandable, but I think the credibility of her content, especially because her content is about confidence and women and letting go and being a bad bee, it's gonna cause the credibility of her content to kind of like take a little bit of a nosedive. I'm not saying it's going to ruin, like, her career is ruined or anything, no. But like I said, the credibility might take a little minus. So yeah, girls, there's no such thing as a nice guy. No, all guys are the same. They're all mean. They all cheat. They're all capable of cheating. Even the most humble, loyal-looking, baby-faced, plays video games in his free time kind of guy will seek to humble you if he's insecure or not. He will try to humble you in whatever way he thinks will humble you as an attractive woman. There's no such thing There's no such thing as a nice guy. Period. So thank you so much for watching this video. It's such a sad situation from the wizard list, but I think it's a huge learning possibility as well, opportunity for us women. See you guys in my next video. Bye.